Naming compounds. Now, naming compounds from their chemical symbols is similar to what you've already done, okay? Now, the only thing is, it's just the opposite. We were looking at the five-step crossover rule. So we're kind of rearrange the five-step crossover rule and work backwards to write the formulas. And now it's a lot simpler. There's a simpler way to do this, but we're going to use the reverse order, or the steps in the reverse order, just because it will come in handy when dealing with transitional metals. So let's look at Ca3P2. So first thing we want to do, identify metal, non-metal before we even start. So we notice that calcium is a metal, phosphide is a non-metal. So we can go about separating the two elements. So Ca3P2. Now we're going to add ones with the elements that have no number, or that has no number, but both of them have a number already, so there's no need to put a 1. Okay, we are now going to cross over, but now this time we're going to cross over from the bottom to the top. Okay, the next step, we're going to add charges. Remember that the first one, which is the metal, is positive. The second one is a non-metal, and that's negative. Okay, we're going to make sure that the charges match those found in the periodic table. If they do not, multiply both charges with the same number to find their true charge. Okay, and yes, both calcium and phosphide have the correct charge on them. So then the last step says write the name. The metal stays the same, but the non-metal changes its ending to IDE, calcium phosphide. So we have calcium and phosphorus, but the phosphorus becomes phosphide. Okay, the non-metal loses the ending and it becomes IDE. Next example, AlBr3. So we know that aluminum is a metal. Br, okay, is a non-metal. So separate the two elements, AlBr3. Next step, we're going to add ones with the element that has no number. Aluminum here has no number, so we're going to put our 1 right there. Okay, next thing, we're going to cross over, but this time from bottom to the top. Okay, and next step, we're going to add charges. Remember, the first one is positive because it's the metal, and the second one is the non-metal, and it's a negative charge. Now, we're going to make sure that the charges match those found in the periodic table, and yes, they do. So there's no need to multiply anything, as the following step says. The next step, we're going to write the name. Remember, the metal stays the same, but the non-metal changes its ending to IDE. So we have an aluminum, we have bromine. To put them together, it becomes aluminum bromide. Okay. This last step, a little tricky, MgO. Okay. We know Mg is magnesium, it's a metal. O, non-metal, oxygen. So we're going to separate the two elements, Mg and O. They separate. Now, next step says add ones with the element that has no number. Neither element has a number. Okay. Remember, in the final steps, it says remove the ones. So we've removed ones to get MgO. Now we're going to add the ones to do the reverse of the 5-step crossover rule. Okay. So we're going to add ones. Next step, we're going to cross over again from the bottom to the top. Okay, we're going to add charges. Remember, the first one, metal, is positive. Second one is negative. And we're going to make sure that the charges match those. Now, here's the thing. Okay, oxygen should be -2. Okay, so because oxygen should be -2, and even magnesium is supposed to be +2. But the thing is, before you do, the most important part that you should always be looking for is that the non-metal matches in charge. Okay, the non-metal is the most important one to match in charge. Okay, so we're going to multiply that -1 by 2. But what we do to one, we must do to the other. So the charges now change. So Mg is +2, O is -2. Do they both have the charge that they're supposed to have? Yes, they do. And thus, last step, write the name. The metal stays the same, but the non-metal changes its ending to IDE. So we have a magnesium, we have an oxygen, but put them together, it becomes magnesium oxide. So here are a couple of practice questions. Take a minute, pause the following video, and complete the following table. Welcome back. We're going to just take up the practice questions. LiI becomes lithium iodide. CaBr2 becomes calcium bromide. Ag2O becomes silver oxide. BeS becomes beryllium sulfide. Ca3N2 becomes calcium nitride. Al2O3 becomes aluminum oxide. BaCl2 becomes barium chloride. And finally, SCP becomes scandium phosphide.